Sabi po ninyo na medyo hindi naman hindi naman farmer. Nire-represent yung mga farmer. Meron pa ngang hindi naman youth, nire-represent yung youth. Hindi ba? Nabuksan na po eh. No? So, again, I agree with what you're saying, but not entirely when it comes to the party list system. I just could not help but include it here because I know for a fact that Senator Lacson is looking at the possibility. I am filing a bill limiting again limiting it back to the original party list that we originally passed. So I'm filing that bill, and hopefully we will try to get your points there again, Attorney Monsod. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, Senator Erwin and Isa.
Thank you, Minority.
Can I reply?
Before you continue, Attorney Monsod, Senator Erwin would like to finish with his interjection.
Let me redirect my questions now, Madam Chair, to the Commissioner of Elections, to Chairman Garcia. Madam Chair, my question is, bakit po nagkaganito, nag-spiral out of control? Tama po yung sinasabi ng aming minority leader na parang dapat 6-5 lang ang party list, pero kung ano-ano na, pati mga palangalan ng mga pelikula, kung ano-ano na. At pagkatapos, wala po bang qualifications? I mean, you guys can look into na paano ka magre-represent? Tama nga po yung sinasabi ng aming minority leader. How can you represent kung mayaman ka, nakatira ka sa Forbes, and then urban po rin nire-represent mo? Parang hindi po tutugma eh. Meron na po ba ang next elections makikita natin na medyo hihigpitan na po? Kung hindi ka talaga mahirap, you cannot represent that, di ba? Kung hindi ka naman tricycle driver, you should not be representing the tricycle driver because you don't know yung kanilang buhay, Madam Chair.
I'd just like to remind our resource persons, we can maybe come to an initial conclusion on the discussion about the party list so that we can focus again on our subject today, including the bill of Senator Erwin on the political dynasty prohibition. Please proceed, Chair Garcia.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair, Your Honors. Yung pong binabanggit na mga sectors, yung mga sectors po na binanggit ng ating minority floor leader, kung maaalala po ni Chairman Christian Monsod, yan po ay nakalagay, Madam Chair, sa transitory provision ng Constitution. Sabi po ng transitory provision, elections after the 1987 Constitution, ito po yung mga sectors na dapat present. Yung mga binanggit po ng ating minority floor leader, kasama po ang veterans, Madam Chair. Ngayon po, after po ng pangatlong term, na-open na po ang party list into, meron pong political parties, meron pong sectoral organizations, meron din pong sectoral parties. Yung pong nagbigay po niyan na classification ay ang Supreme Court, complicating the situation. Yung pong Supreme Court sa atong paglaom, Madam Chair, nagbanggit sila, ito dapat ang pwede. Ngayon po, Madam Chair, nung una, sabi ng Supreme Court sa isang case, dapat hindi nakatira sa gated communities of Forbes Park and Dasmariñas Village. Kasi po walang nakalagay sa batas. So napilitan po ang Supreme Court to enhance the decision. Sabihin na po natin nag-legislate. And then several years after, sabi po ng Supreme Court, hindi naman kinakailangang gumagapang sa kahirapan. Sapat na lang na may proven advocacy yung mismong nominee sa naturang party list. So yung po yung nag-open ng floodgates. Ano po ibig sabihin, Madam Chair? Ang isang nakababata ay pwede magrepresenta sa nakatatanda. Tama po o hindi? Tama po. Basta may advocacy. Ang isang super bilyonaryo pwede magrepresenta sa farmers? Pwede po basta may advocacy. Ang isang hindi naman po ang isang lalaki ay pwede magrepresenta sa kababaihan, pwede po ba? Pwede po, basta may advocacy. Yung po yung nag-open ng flood. In several instances po, Madam Chair, ang Supreme Court po ay napipilitan na magdagdag doon sa provision ng batas sapagkat kulang po talaga yung batas natin. Dapat po talaga yan ay ino-overhaul na at this point, this is the position of the commission sapagkat kahit po yung computations of formula, nung una po, yung panganiban formula, bigla pong binago ng Carpio formula. Ngayon po may mga kaso pa sa Supreme Court kasi paano i-determine yung 2%. So, Madam Chair, Your Honors, yan po yung problema talaga sa party list. It is now ripe, super ripe for a revision, not only amendment, para po maging ma-reflect po talaga yung binabanggit po ni Chairman Bonsod na for the marginalized and underrepresented. So, yung po yung naging kadahilanan. The COMELEC cannot do anything. We have to follow the Supreme Court and of course the limited provisions of Republic Act 7941, the party list law.
Can I answer?
Salamat po, Chair Garcia. Before I acknowledge Attorney Monsed, the Chair would like to recognize the presence of Senator De La Rosa. Thank you for joining us. And I will ask you momentarily if you would like to make an opening statement. So wala, okay, salamat. We will close pansamantala yung discussion about the party list unless it comes up later in the hearing, and babalikan natin lahat pa ng mga tanong natin on the anti-political dynasty.
Just a short,
briefly, yes?
Just a short
please.
one. Chairman is correct. The marginalized doesn't mean only economic. It also could include a suggestion on political matters, for example, not just that's just the poor marginalized. And the 7 that were mentioned in the Constitution is only for 9 years, 3 consecutive elections. The correct decision, sir, is in the Paglaong case is Justice Carpio. In fact, he quotes me in order to put the framework for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Chris. So sige, balikan natin yung marami nang naipresenta both ni Chair Garcia and Attorney Monsod about the anti-political dynasty law na iniuutos ng konstitusyon sa Kongreso ilabas. Chair Garcia, wala po ba tayong nakikitang, regarding pa rin itong degree of relasyon, no? Wala po ba tayong nakikitang problema sa magtito, tita, pamangkin, pinsan? Kasi lampas na po sila sa second degree. Pero they're so numerous right now in our dynasties and in our politics.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Ang position lang naman po ng COMELEC para maging consistent lang po na second degree. Second degree po yung SK, second degree po ang Bangsamoro. So kung talaga po magkakaroon tayo ng national policy on at law sa the political dynasty, at least po yung second degree lang po din, at least para po consistent sa lahat, pare-parehas. But again, yung pong issue na ito, Madam Chair, yung question as to really what degree, it's a policy decision and it is really for Congress po to really determine anong degree. You can even quote po third degree para po the middle between fourth at saka second degree. At least po yun hanggang magtiyuhin man lang po yung third degree. So pwede po yun. It's really up to Congress and wala pong nilagay sa saligang batas up to what degree. It's really dependent sa Kongreso po.
And in fact, as you pointed out earlier, 2 sa 3 bills natin, kasama na po yung kina Sen. Sherwin and Sen. Ping, hanggang sa second degree of consanguinity. Pero nabanggit nyo rin ulit ngayon yung SK Reform and Empowerment Law. And kanina sinabi nyo nga na naging effective ang COMELEC sa pag-enforce yan. At marami kayong na-disqualify. How many disqualifications ang nagawa batay sa probisyong iyan?
Mula po, excuse me,
mula nung ma-enact yung batas?
Siguro po kulang-kulang mga 1,000 na mga kandidato kasi po related sa nakaupong mayor, related sa nakaupong barangay chairman, barangay kagawad. So, ang basihan po ng disqualification ay yung mismong relationship ng kandidato sa SK as against mga nakaupo na national or local official. So, yun po yung tiningnan natin at na-point out po, nakita, minsan nagpe-present po ng mga birth certificates yung mga nag-file na to prove the relationship na talagang isa yung nanay nila, isa yung tatay po nila, and therefore magkapatid. Kaya naman ito po yung anak talaga dahil sa birth certificate. So naging madali po sa mga nagpa-file na ma-prove. At the same time po talaga pong na nakapag-prevent doon sa mga magkakamag-anak na may mag-file kasi alam nila makikita at makikita yung relationship na yon. So to a certain extent, it drove away those who intends to file although may relationship na mali doon sa base sa definition ng political dynasty.
So would you say, Chair, na tagumpay or palpak yung SK Reform and Empowerment Law sa pag-prohibit ng dynasties at least sa barangay level?
Madam Chair, so far po sa kasalukuyan, wala tayong alam na isang kaso na na-file sa Supreme Court questioning the legality and constitutionality of the provision of Republic Act 10742, the SKM Reform Act, as regards the issue of political dynasty. For example po, may dinisqualify kami, kahit may tinaas sa Supreme Court, wala naman po na nag-desisyon ng Supreme Court na nagsasabing unconstitutional yung provision na yon. So meaning to say po, until today, that provision stands sa SK Reform Act. Kahit po, Madam Chair, dun sa Bangsamoro Election Code, wala pa rin pong issue at nagke-question doon sa provision ng kanilang anti-political dynasty up to second degree.
Pero yun lang po ba yung magiging batayan natin na wala pang nag-challenge sa SC? Does it make the SK Reform Empowerment Law therefore a success? Or to look at it another way, in the extreme, ganun ba siya ka-harmless na wala nang nagbabother maghamon sa SC?
Gandang simula po yung Madam Chair, yung SK at saka yung Bangsamoro kasi po sa bandang huli ang sinasabi namin, buti pa sila nagkaroon lalo na po sa Bangsamoro. Kasi po pinaka-latest na election law ang Bangsamoro Electoral Code po. At they really try to imagine doon po sa Bangsamoro, Madam Chair, Your Honors, related ang bawat isa po doon eh. Pero they really put a provision on anti-political dynasty. And therefore, sa ating pong palagay, successful yun sapagkat kahit na magkakamag-anak sila doon, naglagay pa rin po sila ng ganong klaseng provision.
Salamat po, Chair. Salamat, Sen. Erwin. Yes, and we'll wait for you to return. And kay Minority Leader din kanina. Since napag-uusapan na rin po yung mga success or failure at mga kaparaanan na palakasin yung mga existing laws natin, no, leading to pagpasa harinawa finally ng isang anti-political dynasty law. Dako na po tayo sa sa ating mga civil society organizations na nandirito. Kanina dun sa opening statement ko, nabanggit ko yung mga pag-aaral so far tungkol sa mga thin, fat, even obese dynasties. Siguro simula ako sa PPCRV. Sino po yung magsasalita? Dr. Serrano. Sir, dun po sa PCIJ article, kinwote po ang inyong council dito nga sa usapin ng mga dinastiya sa ating bansa. Could you please elaborate a little further on those issues?
Una po sa lahat, yung amin pong mga komento or opinion ay base rin po doon sa mga volunteers and leaders namin all over the country. Pangalawa rin po, sa mga iba pong mga sinasagawa namin mga diskusyon, hindi po talaga maiwasan na mapag-usapan yung issue about political dynasty. Kagaya rin po ng mga nasaad na po kanina na kailangan po talaga ng panukalang batas patungkol hindi lamang po sa definition ng political dynasty, kundi hanggang saan po. Maari rin po talaga na gawin nating batayan yung unang gumawa ng provision na ito sa SK Reform Act. And then later on, itong most recent na Bangsamoro Electoral Code, yung up to second degree, no? At kami naman ay hindi naman talaga nagbibigay ng legal na opinion kung hindi rin lang naman na kami ay inaabisuhan. Pero hindi po talaga maiwasan na hindi po mapag-uusapan yan. Lalo-lalo na ang aming pong samahan ay involved po, no, sa kada eleksyon na dumarating. At ang ating eleksyon ay regular.